Uno, dos, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Rethink Your Legacy. It's great to be here with you. I'm kind of extra special excited this morning because I have a special guest with me, and I think, don't say anything yet, but for those of you who listened to the show before, you might recall I've never had a guest on my show before. And I'm just realizing that right now that my very first guest ever is
his son.
And what's your name?
Zachary.
My son, my 10-year-old son, my youngest child, Zachary, is with me this morning. And he has a what?
Amazing grammar.
He has amazing grammar, he wants me to tell you. Well, good morning, everybody. If this is your first time tuning into the show, you have a special treat today because Zach is here to help us learn what we need to learn. So if you're here for the first time on Rethink Your Legacy, you get to learn whatever I can possibly share with you in an hour. You're going to get this hour with me, Francisco Servent. I'm an attorney. I do estate planning and probate out of Keystone Law Firm in Chandler. I share as much as I possibly can just through all my experiences. And at the end of the hour, you, I promise, will not get a bill. So, there you go. You get to be with a lawyer and you don't get a bill at the end of it. Today's show is, I want to focus in on something that most of my clients have to deal with. A lot of you listening either have to deal with this now or it's something that you are going to face later. And I'm going to give you a free resource to learn more about this like I do every weekend. And Zach is going to tell you what website do they go to get the free resource?
If you want the free resource, you can go to radio.keystonelawfirm.com.
It's that easy. You just go to radio.keystonelawfirm.com, enter your name and email so the system knows where to send it to you. This weekend's free resource is for your retirement accounts. These accounts are where most of us are saving our money. We're working hard. We're being frugal. We're trying not to spend everything that we make. You know, every week we pinch, we save every payroll. We stick some money aside and put in those accounts. And that's what's building up for our retirement, you know. The key here for this weekend for you from an estate planning perspective is that these accounts are they're treated very differently than everything else because of how much they're taxed. And this all kind of came crashing down in one of my recent cases where somebody actually, it was extra double bad. Their mom passed away, and then within about a month, the dad died as well. And when the kids went to collect the retirement accounts, as bad as that would be to have both of your parents pass away, right? But then they went to collect the retirement accounts. The retirement account, the company, I won't name names, but, like Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, a company like that, cut the checks, split it equally to the kids, because that was the instruction, right? But then they got a demand from the company saying, whoops, we made a mistake. We actually need to withhold 30% of that in taxes and send it to the government. Please send us back the money. And this was because the parents didn't have the strategy that I'm going to share with you today. They didn't have it in place. And so these kids had to literally take this money that was already in their bank accounts, and they had to write checks for almost $200,000. It was a ton of money that was going back to the IRS. And so I don't want any of you guys to have to deal with that. You guys worked hard to save this. It's for your retirement. And you know what? If there's something left over, because you lived frugally and you want to leave it to your family, I believe you should leave it to your family. It is not our obligation to leave it to the government. It is our obligation to do what we want with it and to give it to our family if that's what we want to do. So that's what we're going to talk about today, are how to make sure you've got your retirement accounts, your IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, all of those tax-deferred accounts, how to make sure you've got those set up so they're protected for your loved ones. And if they want the free resource on this, Zach, they go where?
radio.keystonelawfirm.com.
Bingo. So go there now. You can jump over there on your cell phone, on your iPad, on your computer, whatever you got, and we'll send you this resource. And what the resource is going to share with you is one specific strategy to deal with this issue. If you are somebody who's got more than about $100,000, so anywhere from $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, $10 million, in those retirement accounts, literally this strategy could save you just gobs and gobs, could save your heirs tons of money in taxes. So what we're specifically going to be talking about is not just how to designate the beneficiaries at, Fidelity or Schwab. That's kind of easy. There's some issues that we're going to tie into that. But the specific strategy that we're going to talk about is what happens if the beneficiary that you have named on there doesn't survive you. Because that's what happened with this one family. Their mom died and their dad died really quickly right afterwards, and it didn't have anything after dad. So I don't know why. I don't know why their advisor didn't say put the kids on as the backups, as the contingent, or something. And so the default instruction that they have to follow leaves the retirement accounts to their estate, and that's where the problem comes up. So what we're going to talk about is how to structure that and how to use something called a standalone retirement trust. I'm going to break that down for you. I'm going to teach you guys. You will know more about it than any of the lawyers out there, because most of the estate planning lawyers don't even talk to their clients about this. They don't teach you that this is something you should know about, so you can decide if it's something you want to use or not. And this standalone retirement trust, that's what's in the free resource at what website, Zachary?
radio.keystonelawfirm.com.
Bingo. Go get there. Go get the free resource. It's my gift to you for coming to the show and listening to the show. Now, Zach, do you know what people do if they have like a question right now that they need answered? Do you know what they can do?
They can text our phone number.
Bingo. They can text or they can
call.
And what's the phone number?
480-750-7888.
So wait, you mean the people who are listening right now can text us and we're not going to text back immediately, but we'll text back first thing Monday morning?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. You can actually text the law firm, right?
Yes.
Why not? Exactly. Yes, you can. If you have something, it's a specific question. Either it's related to your estate plan, it's related to your will, your trust. If you're a real estate investor and you want to protect your assets, you want to put together an asset protection plan. If you want to know how to protect your estate from all of the crazy taxes that are about to be sprung on all of us with this new tax plan that's coming, give us a call. Figure it out. Your first call with us, okay? So you'll text, you'll call, my team will call you back and see what's going on. And they'll schedule. And that first appointment with us is going to help you figure out exactly what do you need. Like, well, I don't know what I need. I've got questions about A, B, C, D. Get them figured out, because then you'll have some clarity. There's no catch. It's just let us help you figure it out so you don't have to figure this out all on your own. And that phone number again is 480-750-7788. You can call or text and leave a message with your name and number, and we'll call you back. 480-750-7888. And we'll get back to you first thing Monday morning. Now, for those of you who want to learn more about the retirement trust strategy, come back after the break. I'm going to first break down why this thing is so different than your living trust. The big picture problems if you try to sort of mix this into your living trust, and how that actually can create more problems for your beneficiaries, your families, and how, what this means. Like, how do you set one of these up? That's what we're going to talk about when we get back after the break. All right? We'll see you back here in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Rethink Your Legacy. This is Francisco Servent, your attorney, your problem solver at law. And you guys, lucky you, for those of you listening in today, because who's here with me?
A special guest, your son.
A special guest, my son, Zachary, my youngest. You're what? You're almost 10.
Yeah.
Like, in a week, you'll be 10.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we're here today talking about the ever-interesting topic of estate planning. But you guys know that I do my best to try to not make it as boring as it actually is. So let's try to not make it boring by, first thing, reminding everybody that if you do need help with something, the phone number you want to write is, you want to keep this phone number, so, jot it down with something right now. You can even just send a text right now to this number and say, hi, and, then you'll have it saved in your phone. And so here's the phone number. It is
480-750-7888.
You know what? I think that phone number is the wrong phone number, Zach.
Is it?
I gave that number to you, and it's the wrong number. So let's tell everybody the right number. It's 480-750-7788. Zach is good at reading my handwriting. Yeah. I made a big mistake. So, okay, everybody, rewrite that number down. 480-750-7788. As soon as I heard you read it out loud there, I thought, wait a minute, that's the wrong number.
Yep. That number went through the entirety of segment 1.
It did. And, hopefully those people are still sticking around. Or maybe they went and got our free resource for the show.
Hopefully.
Which is where?
At radio.keystonelawfirm.com.
Perfect. So if they went there, they can get our phone number off the website.
Yeah.
And they'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. Well, so you guys go get your free resource, because today it's about the standalone retirement trust strategy. And here's what that is. So you've got your retirement accounts. Those of you who are 60, 65, you worked your butt off. You've put money aside, you've saved it, you've done the right things. Good. Or maybe you're 80, 85, and you've been living off your retirement accounts, and you're looking at the balance and you're thinking, I'm never going to spend all this. Okay, well, so either way, we never know. None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. So what this strategy is for, it's for those of you who have some money in there that's probably going to end up in your beneficiary's hands. What happens? So here's the first thing you need to know. The first 10 years after, or I should say, the first 10 years that once they've inherited it, is when they have to distribute and cash out the whole account, all of it. There's no holding it back. That's been law now since January of 2020. And so you pass away, it goes to your beneficiaries, say it goes to your kids. They are required, get this, Zach, they are required to pay taxes on it. That's it. There's
no way.
They have to. Or they get in trouble, or they go to jail.
Wow.
Isn't that terrible?
That's terrible.
So, who wants to pay taxes?
No one.
No one. And I don't want all of my listeners to pay taxes.
Yeah, no.
And you don't either, right?
No.
Exactly.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. So, listen, here's how you avoid that. The first thing you do, since you're here listening, is you get with your financial advisor and you start aggressively pursuing a Roth conversion strategy. I'm not going to try to teach you that here. Get with your financial advisor and aggressively pursue a Roth conversion strategy. Please investigate if that's the right thing. And then the second thing you do for your beneficiaries is you set up a standalone retirement trust. Here's why. First, think of this in your mind. You're sitting there, and kind of out of the blue, something happens, and somebody long, distant relative that you didn't know, had no idea they even existed, you just found out they passed away, and they left you, let's say, $200,000, and the only way it was going to be delivered to you was by you sitting on one side of the table, the estate lawyer on the other side of the table, with all of that in cash piled up on the table. Imagine that, Zach. Cash mountain on the table. How does that sound?
That sounds pretty nice.
Sounds pretty good. Imagine, and they're sliding it over to you, and now it's right in front of you.
That would be pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah.
How many of you listening have ever had that happen to you? Probably none, right? Probably none of us. The truth is, in most of our lives, if you're anything like all of my clients, well, I guess I'll say most, 99.9% of my clients, you've never had that happen. None of us have been trained on how to handle that kind of money. We haven't been trained on what to do if you inherit a couple $100,000, or you inherit $500,000, or you inherit $5 million, whatever the amount is. None of us have really been trained on what to do with that money. And because we just haven't been trained, it's not something we do in our families, in our life, in our society. It's just not our culture. Because we haven't been trained, the things that we think we should do oftentimes are horrible, wasteful, and not good. And so what I've seen most people do when they inherit a retirement account, even if they don't need the money, really, I think it's only about 1 out of 10 people save the money. The rest of them, they cash that thing in the first year. Doesn't matter if it's $20,000 or $100,000 or $500,000. They cash it in, and they go pay off a mortgage. They maybe pay off some debt. They buy a car. They start a business. But you know what happens when they cash it all in that first year? It puts them in the highest income tax bracket that exists. And guess what that is? Right now it's 35% federal, 8% state. It's about to go up to almost 40% federal, 8% state. And that means 40+% of that account is going to go straight to the government's hands right after you pass away. 40%. How much is in your IRA right now? I want you to get this free resource. Go to the website. Zach, what's the website?
radio.keystonelawfirm.com.
Can they do that on their phone?
Yes.
Can they do that on an iPad?
Oh, yeah.
Can they do it on a computer?
Of course.
You know it better than all of us, right?
Yep.
You're a pro. Go to radio.keystonelawfirm.com. Get the free resource on your standalone retirement trust, because here's what it does. It lets you designate that the IRA cannot be cashed out year one after you pass away. It says, no, look, I want you to have your inheritance. I don't want to put unnecessary controls on you. I mean, if you need to put controls on, fine, put them on there. But it says, look, don't cash this thing in year one. Stretch it out. Delay some gratification here so that the tax burden is spread out as much as possible, pushing it into a lower tax bracket. That's the first key, and the first reason to use a standalone retirement trust is to make sure that they pay as little taxes as possible while you still get to give them the whole inheritance that you want to give them. So you can go to the website for the show, radio.keystonelawfirm.com, or if you need help. And what I mean by help, let's say you've got a trust and it's 10 years old. and you're like, I really need to make a change. I've tried to call that law firm back, but they just won't return my calls. You know, the one who did it? Or maybe you did it in California or Washington or Wisconsin, and you're now in Arizona, kind of full-time, and you're thinking, should I get this thing up to date? Yeah, probably should. Or you've never done it before, and it's been nagging at you, and you're kind of like, I probably shouldn't do this. I'm getting to that age. Then this is the number you call. And now we have the right phone number to give you, and that phone number is what?
480-750-7788.
Thanks for emphasizing the correct version of what I was saying wrong the whole time, Zachary.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Yes, the phone number is 480-750-7788. So, like right now, on your phone, you can send us a text. And my team will call you back Monday morning, and they'll say, what's up? How can we help? And if you need help, they'll set you up for your first appointment. Super friendly. Everybody on my staff's great. They'll just try to figure out how they can help you. But I really want you to get the free resource. So go to radio.keystonelawfirm.com and download that resource and save it so you can review that with the people in your life who this affects. And then after the break, I want to make sure you know why you do not ever, ever, ever want your IRAs going to your regular living trust. Okay? We'll be back in a minute. Good morning. Welcome back, everybody. This is Francisco Servent, and you are listening to Rethink Your Legacy. This is probably the only hour you will ever get from an attorney without a bill. Congratulations, you figured out how to do it. Sneaky you. My name is Francisco Servent. I'm the founder and CEO, forgot what my title is for a second there, at Keystone Law Firm. And our firm focuses on exclusively things related to your estate, protecting your money. And we do that using all kinds of things, wills and trusts and all kinds of creative strategies, asset protection. What else do? We do lots of probates. Unfortunately, too many of you people out there are not protecting your estates, and we probably, I don't know, I mean, we just have way too many probates in this county, in this state, so we do a lot of that. If you need help with any of this, you can call or text our office right now. My team will call you back first thing Monday morning. The phone number is 480-750-7788. The fun thing for us this morning is that we have a special guest, and I don't mean any special guest. I've never had a guest on my show, and I just happen to be able to lock down and trap this quasi-celebrity for your guys' benefit today. It's almost amazing that he decided to join and honor us with his presence here today. I've introduced him already in the show, but I really want to emphasize how fortunate we are to have him, grace us with his presence. Everybody, I want to introduce you to Zach Servent.
Hello everyone, this is actually Daniel Redcliffe. No, I'm kidding. So this is your radio show host's son speaking to you right now, and he has decided to invite me to this recording. That's
right. And what you guys, the benefit for you guys who are listening is that Zach, even though he's my youngest and almost 10, he probably has a better reading comprehension than vocabulary. He's got one of the most advanced vocabularies that any of our kids have, and our kids are all older than him. He's got this brilliant genius little creative mind, and so you guys are going to get the power of that when you go to our website to get the free resource for today, which is what?
Radio.keystonelawfirm.com.
And what do they get a free resource when they go there, right?
Yes.
They just have to enter their name and their email?
Pretty much.
And then it'll send it to them?
Yep.
It's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They get basically they're going to get free stuff from a lawyer.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
No.
So you guys take advantage of that. Okay. Here's what that handout will be. It's on your standalone retirement trust. This is a strategy I've been using for more than 10 years. And too many lawyers out there don't know this. Zach, if you can believe it, I'm one of the smartest lawyers in town.
What? No way.
It's hard to believe your dad is that amazing. This strategy that I use, other lawyers, they don't even know that it exists.
What?
I know, it's crazy, right?
No way.
No way, exactly. So I want you guys to know about it. Here's the big mistake that I still hear a lot of people using out there. I hear lawyers recommending it. Clients come to us and they say, I've got it set up like this. Don't do this. A lot of people still are naming their living trust as the beneficiary of your retirement accounts. So you got an IRA, maybe you name your spouse as your primary, but you got your trust on there as a contingent. This is now a big no-no. I do not recommend this anymore. I used to. 15 years ago, I did. I do not recommend this anymore for two reasons. The first one is that the Supreme Court came down with a decision, this was a number of years ago, that really changed how beneficiaries inherit accounts. And it changed the asset protection nature of how the account goes through your living trust. And the Supreme Court decision, I read that, studied it, went to trainings on it, and there was just no way we were going to recommend that it go through your living trust anymore. Now, the best way to do it is to funnel it through a standalone retirement trust. And the second reason is because tax law changed last year. Of course it did. It's about to change again. But they changed it last year, and the standalone retirement trust, what it can do is it can help stretch out the taxes for your beneficiaries. So that's how you do this for your families. That's how you protect it. And you can go to the website to get your free handout. And that website again, Mr. Zachary?
Is radio.keystonelawfirm.com.
And we'll send you our free resource for the weekend. When you are setting up your IRA or your 401k beneficiaries, okay, the standard way to do it is if you're married, you name your spouse as your primary, and you'll name your kids as contingent, if you have kids, if that's where you want it to go. If you do have a living trust and you don't have a standalone retirement trust, then that's actually the preferred way to do it. That's what we recommend for our clients, is that you funnel it directly to your beneficiaries. And if you have charities that you want to receive something as part of your estate, naming them on your IRA account is just phenomenal. That's the best way to go because they get 100% of those dollars. None of what they get out of your IRA pays tax. So absolutely, name your spouse, your kids, and some percent to charity. You are maximizing those dollars. The other way to do it, okay, is not to name the kids on the beneficiary form at Charles Schwab or Vanguard or Fidelity or whatever, but instead on the beneficiary form at the IRA custodian, you name the standalone retirement trust. So you actually put that trust name on that form. And then what that does is it kind of does something unique. So if you pass away and this has to be administered, it does something unique. What it tells the institution, the bank company, the custodian, it tells them that you have opted to designate this account to go into a type of trust that they know, hear me, that they know, their legal department knows meets all of the criteria under the tax code, under the IRS rulings, to get the best strategic result. They have the rulings on file. Their tax departments know about this strategy. What their tax departments don't know, their tax department, their legal department doesn't know, they don't know how to deal with a IRA beneficiary form that says it goes to my living trust. Because under that circumstance, it breaks a bunch of rules, and they have to are they going to reinvent the process for you? No. And what you don't want is you don't want them triggering that 40% tax bill at your death. I mean, think about how much is in your account right now. Imagine if you had a stroke or you had a, heart attack, God forbid, right? Or, COVID, right? Imagine 40% of that just poof, evaporating straight to the government. No, thank you. So what I want you to do is get the resource, the Standalone Retirement Trust resource, at the website. And the website from my son Zach is
radio.keystonelawfirm.com.
And they can also call the phone number
480-750-7788.
And that phone number you can call, you can text. They can send a text to us, right?
Yes.
Like you text me.
Yep.
Even you could text that phone number.
Yeah.
You would know how to do it, right?
Yep.
So do you think all of them know how to do it?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they should be able to.
They should be able to, right? So you guys know how to do it. Send us a text, 480-750-7788. If you need any help with any of these issues, if you just have a question, my team will be happy to figure out if it's the kind of question we answer. 480-750-7788. And here's how we do it. That first call, there's no charge for that, right? My team will call you back. They'll help brainstorm what's going on. And if it's something that needs an appointment, they'll offer that to you and help you get it scheduled. And then, most of everything we do is on a flat fee basis anyway. So you'll be able to find out what the costs are before you ever commit to anything. That's one of the things that I try to do in our practice where people aren't fighting over stuff. When people are fighting over stuff, it's nearly impossible to do that. But when we have a scope of the project, we know exactly what we're doing for you, bam, we've got all flat fees all day long. So come back after the break so we can kind of button up this strategy. I can help you guys learn what it takes to set this up, because as sophisticated and truly complicated as a standalone retirement trust strategy is, it's really simple for you to set up. So come back after the break and let's dig into that topic. Welcome back, everybody. Good morning, and welcome back to Rethink Your Legacy. Legacy is a word that I didn't fully accept, I think is the right way to say it, for a long time, because it just feels too big, legacy, who am I to leave a legacy? I'm just little old me. But I've been the beneficiary. I've been the person who's benefited from many legacies before me. I think of my parents, I think of my grandparents, I think of other people in my life who poured into me, and I have the honor of bringing my next generation here with me today, my son Zachary. He's one of four, but he's my first guest that I've ever had on the show.
Yep.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's good to have you, buddy.
I know, right?
I know, right?
It really is.
It really is. And it's fun to have him here because it's a little bit of showing him that work doesn't always have to be work. Sometimes it's just doing something fun for other people, and that's what this show really is all about, is helping give me a platform to share what I've learned over 15 years, talking to thousands of families and hearing the experiences they've gone through, and then learning from them and developing ways to help simplify their life and help simplify the problems that they're facing. There was a gal I was talking to this week, and she's facing a very, very stressful situation with her family. She's had a death in the family, and it's not going well. And, with just a short conversation, she was able to see that there's a path forward. Oh my gosh. So you mean it's ABC? Yes, that's what it is. It's ABC. So I hope you get that from this show. Come back every Sunday. Every Sunday morning, 7 a.m. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Sunday, 7 a.m. Learn something. Help crystallize something in your mind that will help you be the person that creates that legacy for those you love. And, let's do a little bit better. Today's free resource is for all of you that have retirement accounts, or maybe you've got a parent or sibling or somebody with retirement accounts, especially if there's more than about $100,000 in there, up to, whatever amount. This strategy is for you. And the resource I'm giving you is for creating a standalone retirement trust. Right, Zach? And that website where they can get the free resource
is radio.keystonelawfirm.com.
And what do they do when they get there?
They type in their name and their email address, and they will get a note from the company.
Yep, and they'll get the note, they'll get an email, and attached to the email will be the free resource going over and explaining exactly how the standalone retirement trust works. So, how do you set one of these guys up? Right? This strategy, just so you all know how complicated this is from the tax law. So some other lawyer smarter than me, I don't know, I think it was about 15 years ago, maybe more like 20 years ago, dreamed up this strategy and thought, "Oh, this will make sense. I can create this type of a trust and get all these benefits for my clients." The problem with these really cool estate planning strategies is that you can't actually test it out. When do we get to test out our estate plans? Think about that. You don't get to test these out until the situation is unfolding, and it's too late to fix anything. So this lawyer knew that this strategy seems good, but I don't want to have any of my clients be the test case. So there's a procedure to ask the IRS to review a proposed strategy and make a ruling on whether or not it is valid under tax law. So they did that. It's a big effort to get the IRS to give you that kind of a ruling. So they went through the process. It came back finally with a stamp of approval from the IRS. That is that was maybe 15 or 20 years ago. I don't know why. That's public record, but it stayed secret for a long time. And it's still a very sophisticated strategy among estate planning attorneys that I talk to and my colleagues. You guys, here's how you set one up. So, Zach, when somebody is setting up their trust so that it's like, here's where my stuff goes when I die.
Yeah.
Like mine says it goes to mom, and mom says it comes to me, but then if we both die, it goes to you kids.
Okay.
Simple enough, right?
Yeah.
Well, the retirement trust, here's how easy it is. It's a second trust, and it says basically the same thing.
Huh.
Exactly, right? It's not complicated.
Yeah.
And that's how we set up most retirement trusts for our clients. We mirror it to your regular trust. Same trustee, same beneficiaries. You don't even really need to make any more decisions. The only thing extra that we need to do is to update the beneficiary forms on your IRAs. And once you do that, it points your IRAs to the retirement trust, not to your regular trust, and not to the beneficiaries directly. So you get all these extra benefits of it flowing through the trust. It gets the full tax stretch, the full, it's not going to be cashed in that first year. After it's all distributed out of the IRA, it gets reinvested and saved, and it stays in this asset-protected trust for your beneficiaries. They can't lose it to creditors, to a divorce, to a lawsuit, can't lose it to bankruptcy, all kinds of great things. All because you chose to set up a second trust that's kind of a mirror of your regular trust. It's really there's no difficulty in setting it up. But it is a second trust, and you just kind of mentally know, I've got two trusts. Big deal. all my stuff goes through one, all my retirement accounts go through the other. They basically say the same thing. The difference is that in the retirement trust, we've got all this crazy extra tax language in there to make it work, to make it stay in compliance with the tax laws. And that, Zach, is how you save as much taxes on these accounts as you can.
Wow.
Cool, huh?
Yeah.
And where can they get the free resource for this?
They can get it at radio.keystonelawfirm.com.
And that's it. You've been to a website before, right?
Many.
Many. And it's pretty easy to find a website, right?
Yeah.
And then you go there and you enter your name and email, and poof, they get a free resource on this whole thing.
Wow. Free?
Totally.
Like 100%.
Like 100%.
Okay, listeners, you're lucky. You get, like, a completely free, like, lesson, basically.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And you know what else we give them? I don't talk about this very much, but you know what else they get?
What?
On that email where they get this weekend's resource, down below on the bottom are the free resources from every single one of my prior shows.
So, they have the main one from this show, and then they have a trillion other free resources. So if that one doesn't work, they have a trillion backups.
A trillion backups. Exactly right. So if you want your trillion resources, go to radio.keystonelawfirm.com. And actually, I think, Zach, you didn't know this, but on that website, I think there's a picture of our whole family, so they can see a picture of you there. Yeah.
Alright, I'm the handsome one, dressed up really nice with the amazing hair, just so you know.
Yeah, definitely, I'm not the one with the amazing hair, if you guys have seen my picture. If you need some immediate help, though, you are invited, and I welcome you to call the office at 480-750-7788. You can call now, leave a message. Nobody's going to answer it because it's Sunday morning, and my team doesn't work Sunday morning, but they will call you back first thing Monday, or you can send a text right now, and that will drop into our system, and it'll just wait there until somebody gets back to you Monday morning, 480-750-7788. And that is it for today. I appreciate you guys listening. It was wonderful to get to introduce one of my kids to you today. I hope to bring more of them on the show in the future, but the first one will always be Zach. Have a great day, guys.